Hi everyone. Today the bracelet we're going to be making has a triangle start, a triangle end. It's an alpha flip-flop, and it also uses the straight edge technique, which means at the edges I'll be doing backward forward knots or forward backward knots. Okay, so now we've got our 10 strings, which for me was 5 long strings. Then I'll fold them in half and make a loop, and then you have one very long string, which for me was my multicolored string that I'm using to make a loop now. And for my loops, I'm going to be making series of backward forward knots until when I get my desired length. And since I'm making a triangle start, I'm going to make it wide enough for any tie to be able to pass through easily, like that. So now we're going to make a box knot with our looped string, which is our leading string. Pass it over the other one under the bundles and then pull. Now repeat the same thing with the same string. Cross the longer string over the bundle, then take the small one, cross it over the longer string and under the bundle, then pull through. There. Now we're going to divide our strings into two, which would be 5, 5. Now from this 5, we're going to take 2 out of it, leaving just 3 in my right hand, and then I'm going to make a forward knot over that 3. Sorry, a forward backward knot over those 3 strings. Yes. Then after that, I'm going to make 2 knots as 1 knot each on the other 2 strings I removed. We've already started making our triangle start, and this is not the normal way, but this is just how I prefer to do this. Take another 2 strings from the other 5 bundles on the left and make 2 or 1 backward knot each on it. Now we are going to make 1 backward knot over the 3 strings, and we're going to add the other part of the leading string we used to make our box knot. Now flip-flop means that you flip your bracelet backward and forward multiple times. So you can flip your bracelet now. I preferred not to do that now so that I could get the triangle start properly. Remove 1 string from the bundles from the left. We have 2 now, and then make a backward forward knot on the edge. Now take that short string, add it to the one we just removed from the bundle, and make a forward knot over it. Over both of them, sorry. Now make forward knots over the rest of the 4 strings that we have in the middle. Now we're going to take 1 string from the bundle on the right and make 1 forward knot over it. Now we're going to make a forward backward knot on the bundle, which still has 2 strings. And then we are going to flip our bracelet to the other side. And I tried to cut off this other part of the string because it kept sticking out and I was looking somehow. So there. Now separate these bundles of string so we each have one string, and then make your backward forward knots on the edge. There. Now you have 8 strings to make forward knots on, so we're going to make 8 forward knots, and on the edge, which should be the last string on the right, we are going to make a forward backward knot instead of a forward knot. So that's 8 forward knots and 1 forward backward knot. Now throughout this alpha bracelet, we are going to be flipping back and forward throughout, and on the edges we're going to be using straight edge technique, so we'll be using backward forward knots or forward backward knots instead. And now we're going to flip back, and while we're doing this, I want to say that we are already done with our triangle start and we're getting right into the bracelet. I've already made our first row. Now on this side, we're just going to repeat what we did on the last time we flipped. On the edge, which is on the string I'm holding, make a backward forward knot, and then make 8 forward knots, and then on the edge make a forward backward knot. I'm Wando from Sam Josiah, and this channel I make tutorials on how to make bracelets for alpha and normals, and I dabble a little bit of other stuff. But I drop most of my WIPs on Instagram, and if you would like to follow me there, I'll leave a link in the description. And for this, I don't have a pattern, so there will be no pattern linked in the description either. Now we are going to flip again. And now we're going to do this again. So we flipped to the other side. Now I'm going to face in the back, and we are going to make a backward forward knots and then 8 forward knots, and on the edge we're going to make a forward backward knot. Now I jumped ahead to where I actually needed to change where my string was too short and I needed to change it. And make sure you do this when you're actually facing the front. Like when your flip-flop is on the beginning, the side where you actually started your triangle loop on, that's the side you should change string on, so that the back, well, it's not supposed to have a back, but so that the back will, well, be the rough side and this side will be smooth. And change all your strings on one side only. Now I'm just going to make half of a forward knot, pull up and then pass the other string through and complete the second half of the forward knot, locking that other string inside like that. And I'm going to do it for a second time to make sure I lock my string. People generally prefer to add glue to the back of their bracelets, but I don't do that. I do a second knot, if possible a third knot, but that's not possible here since we're on the edge. So I'm only going to make 2 knots. This is the last one, and press it under this time since this is the last one, and complete my forward knots. Now I'm going to proceed to make a forward backward knot, and then I'll flip my bracelet to the other side. Remember I said make this change on the front side so that it shows on the back part like that. So you only have it sticking out on one side for all your changes. So throughout your bracelet, please change it on the front. And now I'm going to show you this one more time. But I am already at the edge of my bracelet and I'm just about to stop my triangle start. And you can see all the strings sticking out from mine on the back. See them? Yes. Now I'm going to make a forward backward knot over the 2 strings on the left side because we're starting our triangle start, and then I'll proceed to make 6 forward knots on the right side. I'm going to stop when I just have 2 more strings remaining. Then I'm going to make a backward forward knot over the remaining 2 strings as a bundle. I'm just going to make one. I'm going to join them together and make one. Then I'm going to flip to the other side. Yep, and I'm going to add 1 extra string to that bundle, making it 3 strings now there, and do the same on the other side. So we have 3 strings on each side and 4 strings in the middle. So we're going to make a backward forward knot on the edge of those with those 3 strings. Then for those 4 strings we're going to make 1 forward knot on each. That's 4 forward knots. We're going to make a forward backward knot over those 3 strings in the bundle. Now we're going to flip and then we're going to add string to each side. So I'm going to have 4 strings, 2 strings in the middle and 4 strings on the other side. But I'm going to switch it up a little bit by having 4 strings in the middle. We'll make our backward forward knot over that bundle. And then the 2 strings in the middle, I am going to knot them as one. So I'm supposed to have done 2 knots, 1 knot over each, but I'm just going to make 1 knot over 2 of them. Like, I'm just make them together, make them one bundle too, like that. Why am I doing this? Because I wanted to. You don't have to. You can just keep adding strings, one until when you reach that you only have 5 on each side. But this was somewhat of an experiment for me and I liked it. Flipping back to the other side, I am now facing the front, which is how I'm going to end my bracelet. I'm going to make 1 very large forward backward knot over all of my string. So I'm just like bringing it together and connecting at the bottom, the same way I did it when I made a box knot at the beginning, and I'm going to make a forward backward knot here instead. Now that I've done that, I'm just going to make twisted ties, and well, that's all. So divide them in I have 3 and 2 on this side, which also has my leading string, and then the other side has 6 strings, and I'm just going to twist and go all the way down. and then make a knot when I'm done, which I am. And if you would like to watch another outfit tutorial, I'll leave a link in the it'll pop up on the screen very soon, I'm very sure. And well, I hope you have a lovely day, and thank you for watching. Now I'm just gonna sniff off my string as I end this video. Bye.